to PulseChain Market Sentiment. We have Hodpro, we have Georgia, we have Raquel. Thank you all so much for being here. How are y'all doing today?
Wonderful. Thank you so much, class, for inviting us to your show. Thank you. Very good. Very good. Very good. Very orange. Today I'm the orange Teletubby.
I know. I'm orange too today. I'm a bit dark today. I couldn't get my lighting right. That's okay. So we're going to be talking about it quite a bit today. It's going to be a good show. So when may be a good time to buy PulseChain? What's on the horizon for BTC? The RH hearing. We'll go into some lifestyle stuff, fasting. We might talk about the PulseChain tour, what's going on, the Australian meetup, and yeah, whatever we like. So I'm going to open up the floor. There's no set structure today, ladies. We can just free for all.
Fantastic. Well, I love PulseChain. I love Hex. I love Richard Hart still. My love still intact. But what are you guys doing? Tell me. We haven't seen each other in a long time.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Working.
Raquel, what have you been up to? Raquel was like coming back from. What were you doing, Raquel? Do you want to share with the public what you were doing?
I ran off camera because I had to get some baby wipes because I found oil on myself.
No, but besides that.
Panic girl.
It was right.
What were you doing?
Yeah. I'm sure they want to see those baby wipes, going in and out.
Where exactly was the oil?
I was like, gotta get off camera a little bit, clean myself up, come back.
Hodpro, I know that you're excited about some PulseChain projects. Tell us. We're going to open up the floor to speak about whatever we want. I think it's great that we're all here, and we love RH, we love RH products, but I think we can feel free to. It's been a long 2 years. It's been bearish at different points. We're all super committed to RH and his products, and I think we would agree that we're all in the long term super bullish, but. We've got to keep ourselves entertained in between. So, yeah, feel free to talk about whatever you want.
Yeah.
Well, I would say I don't know of every project, right? I feel like the projects that I do know about are really surprisingly being worked on, during the bear that still exist, or people that still know about them. Or at least if they're not being worked on, they're being thought about. Right. And that includes things like liquid loans, Alex with his new icosahedron, if it happens, different things. Pulse Kittens is kind of like, going around, and, there's new things like the orange thing. I don't know enough about that. I mean, Georgia will probably tell us a little bit more about that, but just honestly, even reading in the telegrams, I'm spending a lot of time in the telegrams and no time on Twitter lately because it's a bear and people get ridiculous on Twitter. But I feel like in Telegram, people kind of try to get more. Well, it's not that Twitter isn't good for the bear. It's actually really funny, and you find out a lot about projects and everything you didn't hear about before. But Telegram's pretty good for the rabbit hole of trying to figure out what's going on within these projects, and directly asking people without a small word limit, about what's going on, or DMs. And so I've spent a lot of time there, and all I can really say in general is that it's amazing that even though Richard hasn't streamed forever, right, that people are still so intent on building these really complicated projects on here. And it makes me excited, right? Because that is all it is. It's what's on the chain. So, I'm not an RH Maxi, although he's on the top, you know what I mean? I have a sparkly Hex in the background, but for PulseChain, I don't know. I'm excited. I don't mind if the bear kind of lasts till next year or whatever. It's still amazing to see what's going on. So I'm feeling good.
I agree
about it all.
Yeah, I agree about. I actually want the bear to last a bit longer because I've always been of the assumption that if you want a good bull, you got to have a good bear. And yeah, it's been a really prolonged bear. I'm still I won't lie, I'm waiting for a major capitulation down. And I'll go into that in detail a little bit later. But was there any particular projects on PulseChain, Hodpro, that's caught your eye?
Well, I've told you about Pulse Kittens a few times. It's funny. It's a game. It's like you herd the cats and then you buy an NFT and then you get a bonus on, so that's kind of fun. I kind of like artistic and funny and weird projects. And then Alex's projects, which are just, giga brain behind the scenes way of encapsulating stakes and, even potentially with maybe what he's working on, because I'm not sure if it's going to come to fruition or not. But if he does do an update to icosahedron, how that's actually going to connect PulseChain and Ethereum a little bit closer to each other, creating even some ARB opportunities and maybe even more entropy in the system and everything. So I don't know. I'm excited about both of those for different reasons. Liquid Loans seems like it's going to maybe launch soon. I really don't have a date. Truly don't. No, but it seems like, audits are wrapping up, and so, keep your eye on that. It's pretty cool. So a lot of stuff is just, there's motion behind the scenes in a lot of this stuff, even Maxi and their whole team stuff and what they're doing along with that. So there's a lot of movement. That's it, just in all of it. So
yeah, they haven't gone anywhere, which is good. I know a few people are like, oh, when are they launching? When are they launching? But if you've spent this much time already on a project and this much money, they have to launch at a good time for their product.
Well, they're working behind the scenes too.
Yeah, they're working behind the scenes. Like, it's not like they don't want to launch, but they need to launch when their product is going to end up being a success. Like, what's the point to launch in at the wrong time, and their product crumbles in a matter of months after all of those years of planning, the dedication, the money, the people that are involved in it. So yeah, I think we're all used to being pretty patient by now. My emojis are so limited when I respond to comments. So if I'm giving you no emojis in the comments, it's because my
It's
my
hard.
computer,
It's hard to
limits.
do like a live show and then be on the chat. It's very difficult.
Yeah, let's say hi to everyone that's here, and then I want to
Let's
hear
see.
from you, Georgia.
Sure.
So who was first? Godfather J6, you were first. My Online Ghost is here. DJ Bomber. We got Robbie Crates. We got Maddie Allen. Hey, Maddie.
Oh,
He just finished up his show. We got Drix in the house. We have got Tinta. We have got DJ Creditors. We're going to talk about the Aussie meetup later. We have got Hex Force One. Thanks you all for being here. That's fantastic. Let's go to Georgia. Georgia, how have you been?
today I am the orange Teletubby, and let me explain you why. Well, besides, I have this is breaking news, guys. You're the first ones to see my disco ball tomorrow. I'm gonna try to predict some, the future of the crypto world. Just
I
like
love that.
Nagaboo, I think that's the name. Did with his crystal ball? He said the head
Yeah.
was gone. I think you're wrong, Nagaboo. I'm gonna prove you wrong tomorrow. But there's a lot of things going on in the community, and yes, we would like to see all about hex. Trust me, one of the people that wants to see Richard and wants to only talk about hex, PLSX, and everything that is tied to Richard Hart is me. But while we wait, because everything has its time, there's a lot of projects that are moving forward and they are promoting PulseChain across the crypto world. So, you know what? If it's something positive for the ecosystem that Richard Hart created, I'm going to be there. No matter, I know Richard doesn't like NFTs and things like that, but I do. I support artists. And one of the things that this group, the Tangang, is doing is creating a group of artists. And today was a very special day. One of the ladies, her name is Mana, I think you did an interview with her, didn't you, class?
I wish, because I've
Mana.
seen her stuff and she's
Okay. I think,
amazing.
if you're not, I'm sorry. I know I've seen her, one of the ladies, but she's an incredible artist. And today she came up with an NFT collection called Juicy Drop. And it's amazing. It's absolutely beautiful. And it's in PulseChain. So
I'll bring it
that's going to
up.
bring the attention of, be careful because it's a little bit spicy.
Oh, I
Watch
don't mind
out.
spicy.
Watch out. What?
Oh,
Ooh,
like real spicy.
it's real spicy. They're absolutely gorgeous. I don't know how we're going to be competing with NFTs and next, maybe Raquel can do that, but I don't think I can compete with NFTs. But um it's moving forward, guys. And I know that right now we would like to hear something else, but hey, the word PulseChain is out there on the streets, and it's tied to this group, the Tangang, and it's tied to For example, today with this new project, NFT project that just launched today. So what is Georgia going to do? It's going to support the community. It's going to support the ecosystem. Richard Hart gave us, he gave us what he promised. He gave us PulseChain. He gave us low gas fees. And it's up to us, and he was very clear, it's up to us to make it thrive, to make it work, to make it what we want. And you know what? We have to adapt. We have to adapt to whatever is out there. And, I'm going to be walking with, Hex always. Hex is always going to be coming out of my mouth because I believe in the project. I don't care what people say. I believe in the project from day one. And I'm going to keep supporting, especially anything that is in PulseChain that is promoting PulseChain right now that we don't have any news. So
Should we have a look at
that
the
is,
collection?
we should. It's gorgeous.
Let's do
They're
it.
gorgeous. The ladies are gorgeous.
Let's see what you
Let's
can
see.
see. Now I will scroll down and I will also increase the size of my screen.
They
so
have
that you can
video, they
see.
have emotion, which is like, I haven't seen that many. Transformation.
I'll click on here, it might be better. Here we go. Let's
That
see how
looks
big they
just
are.
like,
I'll make it bigger.
look, we have the Havids and we have the Raquels and we have the Hub Trails, we have Class, they're gorgeous.
That's cute.
Very
I
cute.
keep
And
those
it's done by a
overnight.
woman, ladies. It's done by a
That
woman.
bathing
I-
suit.
Here we go. Now we're
gorgeous.
talking.
Look
All
at that.
right, look at this. And the graphics in the background are just like, I'm just like in awe. This is next level.
Yeah,
Like this is
absolutely.
next level NFTs. Like, I've never seen
Mhm.
NFTs like this.
Yeah, it's incredible. I think today there's only from this one, there's only 369 juicy girls. And of course I had to ask for the juicy men. And hopefully that's the next NFT collection there that Mana is gonna be
Oh, I
creating.
love that.
It
Full
was
disclosure, I don't have any of these
Oh.
NFTs, but I kind of want one actually. So where does her collection live, Georgia? Do you know?
Good question. If you go to her link right there, you will see.
Yeah, I'm sure her link tree will.
Are you kidding? I was able to mint one today, and I can't believe I did it.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah,
How to view
there,
NFT. Oh,
there you go.
it's got instructions. Boom.
Yeah, it has instructions and how to.
Music. Yeah, you want Block Explorer. Oh, see, legend. She knows what we want. Oh, all right. That was intense. That was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
Pretty
incredible.
good at that
And
share
she
screen.
wrote the numerology, guys. So every girl has a specific meaning behind their number. And for example, the ones that are like 111, I think they had the number 1. They have wings. She was more. She will give us more information. I was just a fan of
Yeah,
her
same.
work, and she is a lady in crypto, a lady on Web3, and we need to support the ladies. Period.
Should put
That
her
is
on next show, like for sure.
Yeah.
That's incredible work. Like I just scrolled past it one day and I was like, what? That's next
I
level.
know. Incredible.
cool.
Brings it to a different level. So,
Absolute next level NFTs.
Raquel, what have you been doing?
Tell
Up
us.
to you.
Tell us about, what's been happening.
I mean, it's been a long time since the last time that we spoke. I think we spoke before I went to the show over there in Tampa.
Yeah, let's get. I want to get into that. I think you downplayed this. People need to know about this show, Raquel.
So it happened in the Hard Rock. So there's the casino in the bottom, and then there's the pool in the I don't know if it's the second or third floor. And the concert was right where the pool was. So there was the stage, and right immediately is the pool. But before that, we all went together and we eat. We go and we eat, and then
So this is Flow Rider, right? Like the Flow Rider.
Oh yeah, it was the Flow Rider. It was hosted by him, and he had his crew with him. And there was actually this girl that performed with him. I can't remember her name, but I'm like, dang, she's like really, really talented. She's up there. She's doing like all the things with the guys and all that stuff.
And did you, because you seem to get like pretty close to the action, did you have like VIP tickets or how did that work?
Yeah, so we're like, so there's 3 different sections. So I went with somebody who knows the host. So we, you know, it was like a, what's it called? Like a chain of knowing people. I don't know what that's called. Anyway.
Yeah.
That's cool. They have
So
contacts.
because it was in the hotel, there was like, we could go to the spa, which I went to the spa beforehand, obviously, and you know, you can relax and everything. And then as soon as you walk out the spa, it's the VIP section, and the VIP section is right there in front of the stage, and then off to the side is where you go like to meet them after. So
nice.
So
did you see him in the spa, or when did you first see him? Like when he was doing his performance, or after?
Oh no, not beforehand. Not beforehand. It was after. So afterward, it's like, afterward, like obviously everybody's crowding them, right? So it's like you have to first let all that calm down, go to the side. Once everything's calm, like they're doing the pictures, they're meeting everybody and everything, and then once everything's calm, then it's like, oh, let's talk. But everybody's really, really nice there. The food was really, really good. Unfortunately, the rain came and everything ended a little early. But the spa was really nice. I mean, we went to the casino. Did you get to talk to him? Huh?
Did you get to talk to him?
Yeah. You know, not for a long time, because as soon as they got the news from the storm, it's like, okay, well, let's rush to the next thing, you know. But not for a super long time. But it was like, oh, crypto, what? So
yeah, because he saw your PulseChain shirt,
bikini and everything, and
that's awesome. And whose shop was that from? The bikini?
That was from Side Effects.
Ah, so Flowrider saw you in Side Effects PulseChain bikini. That's so cool.
And that was the same day that I went to that. There's like a famous like candy shop. I think it's called the Sugar
Candy Shop.
Something.
Oh, that's
where I got this really big milkshake that had like it looked like the Cookie Monster.
I saw that, and I won't lie, like I zoomed in and I was just like looking at it for ages.
It was so good. Oh, it was so good.
It looked so good. It was crazy how long I looked at it, because I was like, is the actual cup made of biscuit, or was it like a cup? Like I just couldn't get my head around like a cup.
They like drizzle the cup with like chocolate and cookies, and there was a donut that looked like the Cookie Monster, and after that, huh?
I'm gonna try to bring up a picture.
I want to see that now.
Talking. This is like the
You're
most
talking,
amazing
I'm
milkshake
like,
I've ever.
I saw it. It's funny.
Yeah, you might have to scroll back in my timeline.
I'll go media.
But because it was in a casino, everything like just kind of, you don't realize how late that it's getting. And I ate so much that day. I ate so much. Like all of my friends will tell you, like they're so surprised at how much I eat. My coworkers even are constantly seeing me eat all the time, and they look at me and they're like, "You're always eating. Why are you always eating?"
I love it.
And so if there's an opportunity for free food, I'm like, yes.
Oh my god! I found a clip with you at the concert.
Mm-hmm.
My channel could totally die if I play that clip. I'll get done, but I'll find this milkshake.
Yeah. So when I'm turning around, there was maybe 2 or 3 people separating me and the stage, because we're in the water, we're in the pool, and the stage is here behind me. It was pretty cool. It's loud and fun. And
screen here.
Oh, not that
Baba
one.
boom.
All right,
But
there we
that's
go.
the
Let's zoom
bikini that I
in.
wore.
Zoom in here.
Oh yeah, the little pulse chains.
Oh, I love that.
Cool.
Oh, look at this. That's such a good photo with Westcott.
I want to ask Raquel, you said you were doing this song, like the ones that what's going on with that?
Oh man, that was fun. I just have to figure out how to, so I'm actually asking for help from people, because I have the lyrics that I made. I have the song, like I practice it. I know all the words. Whenever the song comes on, I'm like singing along to it with my own lyrics. But I don't know how to put the music with my lyrics, like my singing is not great, but I don't, whatever. I want to put the song with my lyrics, and then I want to make a video, but I don't know how to do any of that. And I've been working so much that I kind of put it a little bit in the back burner. I actually almost got run over by a car.
Oh,
and then I
Lord.
almost got electrocuted at work today.
From all
Oh
the
my
cars that you've helped over your
God.
life.
Wow.
Yeah, what
From my crib to
happened?
today.
How did that
So
happen?
so when I almost got hit by the car, I was guiding them into the service bay, and I'm like, come this way. But instead of hitting the brake, they hit the gas. I leapt out of the way, and I guess they got embarrassed,
Shit.
so they just left.
Oh my God.
Oh my
That's
God.
horrible.
Glad
Yeah.
you're okay. That's
I'm fi-
crazy.
Yeah, I'm all
Wow.
right. I'm glad that it wasn't like my coworkers or anything. And then today I was underneath a car. I pull back the cover and I'm looking for the oil filter, and it's directly above exposed wires. And so
Oh, Lord.
the tool to take it off is metal. So I tried to go around the exposed wires and accidentally touched the exposed wires, and sparks came down.
Shit.
And so I told them, I said, no thanks. I don't want to do that one today.
Far out.
Yeah,
I'm so glad
I'm
you're
I'm
okay.
still in my work clothes and it's just
So do you have like a defibrillator at your workplace?
no.
No,
but
seriously,
just
you
take a
need
car
one. It will
battery.
save someone's life.
Car battery.
MacGyver. I just watched a MacGyver episode where they get the car battery and do it. No, but seriously, it will save a life. It's super easy to use. It's like pad, turn it on, and the thing goes, stand clear, press button, and then you press button. And then, yeah, because people just go into, if they get like shocked, two things will happen. One, nothing. Like people come in and it's like nothing. They're like, oh, and this happened. And I'm like, yeah, okay, bye. So either nothing happens or they go into like VT, and then they die.
Oh no.
And that's instantaneous. They'll instantaneous die or go into VF and die.
What does VT and VF stand for, class?
So VF is like ventricular fibrillation, and VT is like ventricular tachycardia, which is a step before. So so essentially, like a lot of people have atrial fibrillation, which is totally fine, right? Like a lot of people that are older have atrial fibrillation, where the top part of the heart is dancing. So usually with the electricity of the heart, there's like different electrical nodes, and it goes from node A to node B, and then it kind of swings around the ventricle. People with atrial fibrillation, the electricity at the top part of the heart is kind of dancing and it's not coordinated with the bottom. That's absolutely fine for the atrium at the top part of the heart. If that happens to your ventricle at the bottom two chambers, that's not fine. That's you will be instantaneously dead. Like that's you dead.
Oh,
You're not alive.
It'll stop.
Yeah, you're not alive with VF. So if somebody gets shocked and they instantly die, you put the pads on, you press shock, and they come back to life. It's like the quickest resus you'll ever do.
I'm taking notes.
I'm buying one. I'm buying one.
It's worth it. Like if you are like a tradie and you don't have like a defib, or if you're an electrician and you don't have a defib, it costs like $300. It's the quickest resus. You don't even have to like put a sweat on your resus. Like you literally just, it's like a time thing, right? Like a time thing to like yam the wherever, it's usually in one of those boxes and you're like, oh, how do you get it out of the box? Just smash the whatever you need to smash and grab it. And then just put the pads on and like, you got to time yourself, right? You're like in the Olympics, get it on and then just press start. It tells you where to put the pads. So one pad goes, I don't know why we're getting into this, but we just are. So one pad goes on the right side of the chest. The other one goes here because the heart is on the left, right? So you can imagine your heart. Can't really see where I am here, but your heart is like this on the left. So you put the pads across the heart and the pictures on the actual machine. So one pad is.
Pearl and I are like, who are we?
Because we know we're at risk.
I
don't know if with me, guys. I don't know if the electricity will get to my heart. Are you kidding me? We're like, wait a minute.
In your case, it's okay. We've got a backup plan.
Look at this,
on the left side, you can go front to back.
I'm not going to go anywhere.
Anyway, one is on the right side of the sternum. The other one is in your armpit on the left side. So the electricity goes across the heart. Just turn the machine on. It tells you what to tap someone. You'll save a life like instantaneously. So you almost got electrocuted. Oh my God. Yeah. Meanwhile, we're like flipping through these glamour shots. What a juxtaposition. Oh.
So I think all of that happened way before the party. So you have to go like the other way.
The other way.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. You've hidden this milkshake, and I'm so determined to find this milkshake. Like you would.
I
Oh,
saw it. I
it was
thought it was
good.
hilarious.
Ooh,
I don't know how long ago that was.
in the pool.
Cute.
That was also before the milkshake. That would be
The
way
different kind
up,
of milkshake.
up.
Woo!
Yeah, so
Oh,
that
here we
was the
go.
day of it. And so that was.
I won't turn the music on, but this is like the live.
That lady up there.
They always do that MJ move. You see that? You see that?
Oh yeah, they
MJ.
were doing that.
MJ. Look how bold guy said MJ. MJ. They always do that. Anyway, like he knows what he's doing. Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Now
you
he's
can see
popping.
the storm clouds building in the background too.
It looks like a super fun event. Oh my god, here it is. Look at
Look at that
that.
muffin.
You want to hear something
Wow.
funny? I didn't even notice the freaking dessert. I didn't even know.
You were looking
I was
at-
like, what
You
picture
were
are they
looking at the
talking about?
boobies?
I didn't even see it. I'm sure I'm not the only one, guys.
I love it. So while we're sharing media, so is there anything else you want to say about the party, Raquel, before we move on to crypto?
No, the party was fantastic. I promise I
party was
am working
crypto,
on the
though.
song. I am working on that song. I have no experience with recording or anything like that. So it's gonna come out.
Awesome.
Hey,
I
we're
wanted
waiting
to
for
do
it.
it
We're
today,
waiting.
but
I can't believe that Flow Rider saw you in your PulseChain bikinis that you got from Side Effects. Like that's just epic.
I just need
I'm
a
gonna
hex one
share.
now.
Oh yeah. Share. I got a video I want to share. There we go. He's very serious. We're going to be talking about something very serious with our Is everybody ready?
Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell has just dropped a bombshell on the Western world with his latest statements regarding Federal Reserve interest rates, inflation, and recession.
I've always thought that the soft landing was a plausible effort, that there was a path really to a soft landing. I've thought that, and I've said that since we lifted off. It's also possible that the path is narrowed and it's widened. Apparently, ultimately, this may be decided by factors that are outside our control.
Federal Reserve policy will remain unchanged between 5.25% and 5.5%.
There we go. So, wow, my audio has changed significantly since I ended that.
Where is the under 2%, right?
Oh,
Never
you know why? Because
coming.
I turned my sound up. That's why. So I wanted to get into some macro stuff. So we're going to change gears and just go back to what I think is happening in the market cycle. Look, I had this feeling that the Fed have overshot the way that they've been behaving, increasing the interest rates. Like we had 11 or 12 interest rate hikes this year. And it's just because they rely on this data that can be manipulated. And they put different things in their market basket that can be manipulated to do whatever they want, basically. So in a 1 year, to raise the rates like 12 plus times on people, and then to even, they probably do one or two more maybe, like they've overshot. And I think in that video, he's kind of like, I think he sees the writing on the wall. Like he's about to exit stage right. Like I think he's retiring from that position. And by the way, and he doesn't want to leave like a total shit show because they knew what they were doing. They knew they would cause the worst recession in history, and they're going to. That's my belief. And he knew that it's going to happen. And then as he exits and retires, oh, by the way, I kind of know what's going to happen because I'm just that clever. It's like, well, you always did know it was going to happen and you did it anyway. So that's my macro belief. So like a lot of my beliefs this year about the market cycle are more to do with what's happening with the macro and what's happening with BTC. And a lot of what drives all that is these interest rates. So that's why long term, I'm so super bullish on Hex and PulseChain. Like you wouldn't believe, like I have my stables on the side and I'm ready to go, right? And for me, that's probably going to be January is what I'm mentally kind of thinking. And I'll tell you why. So number one, we just talked about the macro. Do you guys want to say anything about that clip?
Yes, I want to say something about this, that the American dream is drifting away from everyone because imagine someone working so hard to buy a home, to get a better future for their kids, to change the pattern sometimes. That was my own personal story. and I was lucky enough to get it right before it took off. I'm talking about the rates, the interest rates. But is the American dream drafting away from us? Like getting further and further? Are they like making it more impossible for us to achieve our plans? Do we have to give up? What is that is my question. That is the question that I always ask myself. Do we have or is this a plan? So people like they say that BlackRock was going to control the rental market and is everything like being set up so we move into a rental market?
Yeah,
I
I
don't
think
know.
so. I think so, unfortunately. But the sad thing for Australia is a lot of Americans locked in their interest rates for the length of their mortgage. So there have
It's
been a lot of
horrible.
Americans before this happened that they locked in low rates though for the entirety of their mortgage. So
Yes.
those lucky people before a certain date escaped what happened. But in Australia, we can't lock our rates for that long. Like most people are on variable rates or only fixed for a short term.
Mhm.
So other countries that follow the Fed, they have their own, of course, authorities, but they follow what happens in America, have been screwed. Like people on variable interest rates that follow these numbers have been completely screwed over. And it feels like it's been, of course, it's been done on purpose because inflation is so high. They want people to be unemployed. They don't want people owning things. Like they
Mhm.
want like a run on the real estate market. They like to manipulate the entire
It's
market and
impossible.
cause,
It's
yeah,
impossible.
they
It's
want the
almost
recession
impossible
because
to
they want to
purchase
buy
a
cheap
home.
Bitcoin.
Yeah, it's impossible to, I know, it's impossible to, for a family well established with good jobs to even qualify. They make it almost impossible. It's terrible. And
Yeah.
So
that's
we
what
have
people are
student
thinking.
loans starting up too in the US. People have to start paying those back now. And
Yes.
that was during COVID, put on hold.
Yeah.
Or was it deferred or whatever? I'm not sure if the interest accrued during that time. It's possible it did. I guess it depends on if you're a Stafford or not. But yeah, people have to think about paying that back. Younger people that they haven't locked in a rate or even the way our taxes work on our real estate, you're locked into a tax bracket too. No one can buy anything because young people can't get a mortgage. They can't even if they could afford to buy a place outright, they couldn't even afford the taxes,
It's
let
terrible.
alone the student loans they're going to have to pay back very soon, which they won't, right? I mean, when people can't, the bubble's going to pop. And I tell people, oh my God, what am I going to do with these student loans? Like if nobody can pay it, then it's up to you.
Yeah.
But just realize every single thing in life is graded on a curve. So keep that in mind. But we're in for some
Tough times. And
Yeah, it's
that is a domino effect. I'm sorry, class, to interrupt you, but
oh, go ahead.
they have that affects everything. That affects your credit. And guess what? Go try to rent a house when you have bad credit. It is almost impossible. Credit card debt, everything it's a mess right now. Everything is
you know what?
probably
Sometimes when you pay it back, they'll lower your credit score.
exactly. And
That happened.
The formula. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because
it all comes down to a
you in
score.
debt. They want you in debt. Your credit
Yeah.
score gets higher when you can be used more for
Mhm.
really usury.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how it's calculated. So it's not how good you are with money, it's how much they can get out of you. Always remember that with a credit score.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. I
Freedom.
was having this sort of like almost exact conversation with a banker who came and was talking to a group of us about how to improve your credit and why you should improve your credit and all that stuff. And I raised my hand and they're like, "Oh, you have a question?" I was like, "More like an argument. Like why
Oh no.
teaching people that there's
Yes.
other ways to get out of debt using things like, I don't know, crypto, because banks, because they're a banker, they're a manager of a bank. I said banks want to keep people in debt, and banks benefit from people putting their money in the bank so the bank can use it to build their own bags. I said, so why aren't you teaching people how to get out? Oh wait, sorry, because you work for the bank. I
Mhm.
mean,
And
that
the
didn't go
big
over very
and
well.
Kiyosaki, right? The rich dad, poor dad guy. And I think he even was said something about Hex or something. If
Wow.
you read into his stuff, he ultimately has a lot of ways to just borrow the money back and retire on it. So it's like, screw you guys, made so much money off of me. How about this? It's kind of funny.
Yeah. You have to
Yeah, he
use the
talks-
money.
Morally ambiguous, but
He talks to
just a
Dollar
tool.
Cost and those guys quite a bit. Kiyosaki, I think he's been hanging out with those
Oh,
guys,
yeah.
which is cool.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, we had Raquel meeting Flowrider. We've got like Dollar Cost
Right.
rubbing shoulders with Kiyosaki. I know Funding Jim. He meets all kinds of famous people. So I feel like crypto is people know that's the way.
Fred
The thing
Durst
that
knows.
disturbs me about part of it,
DJ
what
before.
disturbs me, is that the crime is going to increase, right? Like it's going to increase. There's going to be so many like civil riots and divides and so on. When people can't pay their mortgage, it makes people can't afford food for their kids, makes people very upset. So that's a bit troubling. I want to move on to the BTC chart. See how it comes up for us. Yeah, it comes up pretty nice. So this is a double top here, but and Doz has talked about this on, he's my husband, on various stream par excellence. He does DeFi down under, and we're obviously like we're a married couple, so we kind of do share mostly the same views, and most of the clever stuff comes from him, no doubt. But this this is our thoughts. And when you're a so-called, like, I wouldn't classify myself as like an influencer because I've got like hardly any followers, but when you talk to people about crypto, obviously you're not giving out financial advice, you're just giving out your opinion. I would just like to be truthful about what I'm thinking. So this is what I am sort of thinking. So Bitcoin, this is the double top here, which is more like what we believe to be, or Doz, this is Doz's really genius idea, is a head and shoulders, right? So this is left shoulder, that's the head, that's the right shoulder. And there's a mathematical equation that you can do, because with a head and shoulders, the right shoulder stops here, right? But then it goes down, and you can calculate how far the right shoulder goes down by you basically measure the from the percentage from the top of the head to the neckline, and then you just it's the same percentage from the bottom of the shoulder down, and that's how you can kind of predict how far it's going to go down. So it is a bearish kind of marker. And then what Doz believes to be happening here is a fractal, which is the same pattern repeated over in a smaller scale. So we have here we have here the left shoulder, the right shoulder, and this is in real time here, these two candles. So this is on a weekly chart, right? So on the weekly chart, we can see that we're forming what we believe to be, or Doz believes to be, the right shoulder. So it goes up like a good, I think it's even 20%. And then once the shoulder finishes, it's our belief that it would go down 20% after that. And the point where it would go down would be mid-October, and the point where it would kind of bottom down would be the end of October to BTC at 20K. So the things that would make this theory untrue would be if BTC broke out of this shoulder. So that would be if there were some mega green candles on BTC, that would make this theory untrue. But as at the moment, it's playing out pretty much as he thought. So we're thinking bottom of the right shoulder mid-October down to the actual bottom being end of October. For BTC at that point would be about 20K. And then from there, pretty much like smooth sailing up for our bull market. So that would be end of October. So, you would think, so then you should, well, for me, I would be thinking I'm buying at the end of October. But there are other factors for PulseChain, which we'll get through. But before we do you guys want to say anything about BTC?
Yeah.
Go ahead,
Well, the halving will happen probably sometime in April of 2024. So there's the halving. That's kind of a bit of ways. So it's not quite really factoring in that chart you currently have, but a lot of people who are in Bitcoin are aware of it. And they're also aware of the upcoming election that can kind of have lies in the media told, or weird things happen, or it drops, or whatever. But those are kind of the factors that I would think about while looking at that. And I know you do, but it is good to analyze that chart too, especially on the way to there, because we can kind of give a little bit of a hint to how long this bear is going to last. We are I mean, everything's correlated to Bitcoin, even though we're pretty DeFi and relatively decorrelated. It's not all cryptos. It goes up and down the same.
The sentiment, yes.
Yeah, the
Definitely.
Bitcoin's what to watch for all of it.
I
So now
think
yeah, sorry,
you're-
Georgia.
No, I think Hot Pearl is absolutely right. I think after the happening, we're going to see if Bitcoin finally breaks that 30K mark. And if it goes above that, then we're going to see a lot of people who knows, maybe a lot of people who got stuck at 30K is going to be exiting. And then, the ones is the next ones that are going to be waiting for the price to go up and down will be the ones who bought maybe at 55, 56.
I have one more thing
So
to
let's
say.
see.
A lot of people put their taxes off for the 6 months. And so not only is the student loan stuff happening, but the people with a lot of money, they have taxes that they actually have to fulfill their duties they put off. And like, for example, my accountant wasn't even busy because most of the people just put it off. Right.
Oh,
So that
wow.
kind of tells you to that extent. And that's about, October-ish. So that's going to affect it as well in the US at least. So
We have elections around the world too. Argentina has elections as well, and the runner
that's
up,
right.
the one that is hitting, Javier Milei is very pro crypto. So let's see what happened. That can make news. Buy the news, sell the.
So
What's it
in
called?
America,
Buy the rumor, sell the news.
Yeah, that's it. In America, so your tax year ends at the end of the year, is that right?
It technically does. We usually pay in April, but there are extension COVID things.
For people. If you have a identity, we'll know this, but if you're a company, I think they have different deadlines. For us, just regular people, I think it used to be April. I think it was extended due to COVID, and then most of Hot Pearl say that they were asking for extensions. So
extensions were given.
Yeah,
okay,
but that's up now. That's up October.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
that'll affect it.
So if you move on, we're going to move on a little bit to PulseChain. Like PulseChain has actually been on a pump. Like it's been on like a little 30% pump lately, which is it's really lovely to see. And I think it's been a long time coming. It's been a bit brutal. My theory around the pump, like I probably would like it to see it bust through and then retest the resistance line, which would be at 4046. And if it does bust through that resistance line, then that whole head and shoulders thing I was talking about before, I'll just throw it in the bin. But right now, I'm still going along my little narrative that I'm not too interested in putting in big money this year. If PulseChain starts moving more independently from BTC and smashes through that resistance line at 4046, then I'll go screw my theory. So I am watching things and I am willing to change my mind on things. We also have the RH hearing that I think we should talk about and how that will affect prices. So I'll open it up to the floor for this.
I don't know, but I wish I would be called to be an interpreter for that hearing. I'm willing to lose my license, in order to be near Richard. I'll be there, Richard. I'm going to flash my ID, my court ID to everyone. I think that we're still waiting. A lot of people are saying, if he doesn't show up this, if he doesn't show up that, he knows more. Why is he posting things? Because obviously he knows more than the attorneys that he's probably, been talking to. But it's Richard Hart, guys. He will not let go of that. He's a fighting dog and he'll fight to the death. And he wants his glory. And Richard Hart will get his glory. He deserves it. And before he goes to jail, there's a lot of people on the line that is going to go down beforehand. So let's talk about BitBoy, maybe.
I don't think there's a possibility of him even going to jail. The worst case scenario is that he pays like a huge fine, right? Because this is versus the SEC. They're not like they're not an enforcement agency, right? They're just for securities.
Correct.
And
That's
it's not
that's
like
if
the
they move it
FBI is
over
going
to the
after.
criminal court, but it's still Richard Hart knows what he's doing.
Right.
He has
And
been
then
preparing for this for a long time.
right. But were they even able to properly serve him? Because I know
We don't know.
that was going around.
Not
that
yet.
they were
We
trying
don't
to
know.
serve
We don't
one
know
bill.
yet. Unless the judge says
Exactly.
that, Twitter or the social media, it's valid like they have done in other cases. So we don't know yet. We'll
Yeah,
know
I
on
think,
what, November 28th? Is that the day I'm taking vacation that day?
I
yeah,
think so. I think so.
I think if he was improperly served, then he doesn't need to show up. But if it turns out that they were able to properly serve him, I think he's more than prepared for it. More than prepared because, like he put, like I don't know if I read the big long post that he made stating all of these cases. And I took the time and I went and I looked at each one because I've been looking at more like securities laws. I've been looking at more like how can crypto fit into different laws. And I don't know if you guys follow Samuel Arms. He's also on Twitter. He's in Florida. He's a political connections person who has like he has he's trying to get crypto more people in government to support crypto and things like that. So I've been looking at a lot of this stuff and I've been following a lot of his stuff, reading up on the things that Richard Hart has posted. I think he's more than prepared to take on the SEC. I think the SEC has been stupid like with the cases that they presented so far because they're on a losing streak right now. And if they go up against Richard Hart, they're going to take a big L to the face.
I have a take on this too. I think that
Right.
I agree with what you guys are saying, first of all, but I think that Richard is playing the waited out game because what I really believe would be the smartest move is for him to wait for the SEC to lose face with Coinbase and Binance before they work their way to Richard, because if it so happens that they do in fact get a jury or whatever, it won't be, the SEC won't necessarily be seen as an infallible, real professional, absolutely know what they're doing case against Richard, who, could come off as buying Louis Vuitton, bumbling around, a guy who doesn't know. And he knows that, the more they're wrecked against the rest of crypto, the more of a chance he has against them. And the less, and even if something were to happen, when the SEC does this sort of cry wolf against every single crypto that isn't Bitcoin, because their best interest is Bitcoin itself. The rumor that they asked Brian Armstrong to delist everything but Bitcoin on their, first of all, it shows a gross negligence of the understanding of crypto and pools and how they work, and Ethereum and all of that. But also, it's like, are you trying to get these people to just pay out settlements with impunity, and you're able to wreck them via blackmail by bringing them to these, and not even serving them immediately, waiting, it's an artificial bear in some cases. It's a bear anyway, so it's actually good that it's now. But yeah, I think he should hide out, wait it out as long as he can, and he should fight it. And a lot of Hexicans don't want to hear that because their coins aren't going to, your tokens aren't going to be worth as much as they think for possibly a few years. But I think that should happen because I'm in it for more than just number go up. I want to see crypto, prevail against a lot of the crooked stuff I see with fiat and with banks and everything. And I just hope that he takes a long time. It's not going to be good in my wallet for a while, but overall it's good for him to put this off and do exactly what he's doing. That's what I think.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of moving parts. We've got some good comments here. So the snitch gets a payout also. So there's incentivization for people to claim they got scammed to start the SEC case. And yeah, that person gets what percentage? Do you guys
Like
know?
$1 million or something like that?
I think it's like it's a percentage of. I think they need to anyway. It's an extreme amount of money. I agree that they're using it for funding. Like they're going after a wide net so that they can fund some certain couple of cases that they're probably more interested in. I think they've grossly underestimated Richard Hart. There's a lot of moving
They
parts.
should be in trouble for manipulating the market with impunity.
That announcement came at quite a crucial time on the chart, and it led to a 50% drop. The SEC should be held accountable for that. They are the organization that is meant to protect people in crypto, and they are actually the villains and a corrupt agency. They deliberately delayed trying to serve Richard Hart. They crashed the price at a crucial point, 50%. Everybody lost 50% of their bags. So they've actually stolen money. Like it needs to be inverted. They need to be on trial. If they ask the Hexagon and PulseChain community and they sent out written ballots, however they wanted to do it, who is the scammer, Richard Hart or the SEC? Everyone's ticking the SEC. The SEC has lost people a lot of money, and it's disgusting. So yeah, we don't know what Richard's going to do. Like, I completely agree with the sentiment that unfortunately the whole thing is going to be short-term bearish on the price, like leading up to the trial, and then if he fights, which we know that he probably will, and he probably should.
Yeah.
And afterwards,
sorry, to comment about what you guys were just saying a little bit. I think that's why the SEC goes after crypto, is because it's not central. It's like decentralized. It's not regulated. Crypto is not regulated. There is no penalties for them manipulating the market that way. It's not like they're going after something in, stock market. There's regulations for stock market. There's no regulations for crypto, so they can go after whoever and manipulate the price and make people lose millions of dollars, and there's no punishment for that.
Yep. It seems to be going unchecked, the way that the SEC is acting. If you take the top 10 altcoins, I think almost every one of them is targeted, apart from the ones that they've favored for some reason or another. The SEC's relationship with FTX shows how corrupt that they really are. It's everybody knows that they are corrupt. You have Elon Musk saying openly that he does not trust the SEC. We have people in Congress holding them up to account. Like, we know that the SEC is a corrupt agency, and it's been let slide for a long time. And at what point will the enforcement agencies stop the corruption? I don't know what they're waiting for. Like, obviously, these big traditional finance entities want to crash BTC to get cheap BTC, and they're doing it, I think, in a number of ways. Killing off decentralized crypto is one way. Raising interest rates until the everyday person can't afford to own their own house is another way. Making crime increase because they no longer have the carrot, guys. Like, there's no carrot. The inflation is out of control, so there is no carrot unless there's a massive stimulus. There's no carrot, so all that is left is the stick. So I mean, I kind of wish there was a settlement. Like, I won't lie, and that's completely selfish, right? Like, from a personal point of view, yeah, I want my bags to pump. I want this cycle to be successful. Like, we've waited for 2 years. I want a successful cycle. But is that necessarily going to stop the SEC or further enforcement from there if there was a settlement? Not necessarily. So we might just have to be comfortable playing a long game. And like Podpro was saying, like, people don't want him to fight because their bags might not be as big for the next 2 or 3 years, but it is what it is. Like, I think it's a bit bigger than all of us, and I think that the reward at the end of it will be a lot bigger as well. It would just be a matter of, I believe, using your fiat and putting it in at a time in the market where you feel comfortable. And for me, this year is like, there's so many sort of things that are making me feel a little bit uncomfortable with putting it in now. Like, because Christmas is coming, the stakes come out, people sell stuff. I really think, like, start of January for me, I'm going to feel like more super comfortable to start just like putting stuff in and being like, okay, let's just see what happens from here. That's my
So while we wait for that, that's incredible. So while we wait for that, we need to make sure the name PulseChain continues out there on the street. That is the most important thing right now. Just make sure they know we're still here, that we're here, that we exist, and we are here, and we're an incredible product, ecosystem. So I think that's what we need to concentrate now, that everybody's so, oh my God, it's not it's not a good time to buy, to sell, whatever, but it's a good time to stay and say, hey, I'm here. Yes, I'm in orange. But guess what? I'm a Hexican. Did you know this logo? It's Hex. Let me tell you about it.
Absolutely, yeah. And the community as a whole, I think, we're not going anywhere. I think it's been like such a great effort.
Not because
over
we're
years.
staked.
We're stake, we're stuck at home, we're single, we have a lot of time.
So it was 10% that reward that the person gets for making up stuff about Richard.
Wow.
Yeah.
We'll
Yeah,
see
that
when
blew
they get a
my
Lambo.
honestly.
If they get a Lambo on the bear market, we know who was a snitch.
Yeah.
They only
But
they only get the reward if there's a settlement, which I don't.
yeah,
Awesome.
if there's a settlement, we don't think there's going to be a settlement, which is like kind of
No.
yeah, jokes on them really.
Yeah.
So is the hearing in the same? Because I know that you're obviously in the court system, like working in the court system, Georgia. So is the hearing the same? You don't have to just say yes or no to this because it will dox you a little bit. But is it the same state as where you work or a different state?
I don't think it's in the same state.
Not same state.
It's not in I don't think it's in California.
I'll be right back, guys.
And
Oh yeah, sure.
she's gonna go check which state. No, I haven't been looking into the documents, but it's not in California. If not, I will be. Trust me, I will find out. I will make sure I'm assigned to that courtroom that day, just to welcome Richard Hart with something. Anyone knows in the chat where it's gonna be at? We don't know.
I think they tried to.
I thought that it might be either in Florida or in Maryland, because that's where DC is. But I'm not.
But he's from Florida. Supposedly he's from Florida, so most likely,
he's from.
maybe
It says it in
Florida.
the document. At the top of the document, it's like jury trial, like demanded, because that's like them just saying, "Look, we don't know what
I
we're doing."
haven't
Let's
checked the documents.
Let's hope a jury not
The way
familiar
that the
with
court
crypto.
system works is they bring the charges against him. He can either plead guilty or not guilty. If he he'll obviously plead not guilty, he'll say, and then he has the option for a jury trial. So it's up to him to see if he wants a jury trial or not, which
you forgot the no contest. That means that he agrees to whatever. He's not guilty, but he agrees to something.
But I don't think he will plead no contest at all.
He I don't know. Richard, just we trust you. If you're listening to this, we absolutely trust you and we'll back you up whatever you decide to do. We're there with you.
I think he understands like the gravity of the situation. He's talked about it for years. He knows how bad the SEC is. He says he wants to change the world. This is the best way to do it, to take on the most evil system. One of the most evil systems against us is the banking system and the SEC and the way the financial system works. That's why nobody owns anything anymore. That's why everybody is in debt. All of the things that we've been talking about, these are the people that he's taken on personally. And I don't think he's going to settle. I think that this means too much to him. I don't know. I don't know the guy, but
I mean that's the feeling that I'm getting, that there will be no settlement. Because a settlement, I mean, it pays those people that shouldn't be paid. It's unethical, and will it really stop future action from the SEC or from the DOJ? No, I don't think it will stop. So therefore, like, why settle? Why give them that, and then they'll just keep coming?
Yeah.
Like, it's like, yeah. I don't think he will settle.
You know what? If you lose, you settle again. You settle. That's it. That's what you do. They declare, and then you can fight, and before the trial ends, if it's happened, you can settle too. So you can do. You can do a lot of things.
Tell you what, if there's a token that's kind of put in limbo, and some people are getting a little antsy and kind of want to get out of it, or a little pumps, they want to take their money, and there's two chains. Wouldn't it be great if you could stake it, and then whenever someone EESs, you get a higher payout during a bear? That's pretty cool about Hex.
Yeah, it's going
And,
to cause a long-term
yeah.
game. That's right.
Yeah,
It's going to
it
change
is.
it's going to change the game because yeah, like I'll admit I stake for 2 or 3 years. I don't stake longer, but you know what? Because I don't think that he will settle, I am going to stake longer. I'm going to stake for maybe 2 or 3 cycles. Whereas before I was like,
Oh, yeah.
it took me a long time to be comfortable to stake for like maybe 1 or 2 cycles. But yeah, I mean, it will increase people's time horizon, which is better for the product in the long term. I think people will, yeah.
I've noticed Ethereum is getting a higher payout too than the PulseChain. Sorry.
Oh,
ahead.
with the staking, yeah. And also, like once Hex does, because you saw, I really feel like there's this very slow Metcalfe's law thing with Hex going on. Like if you see Lamont Black like teaching university students about DeFi and slowly introducing them to Hex and the mechanics of Hex, so where would these people like buy Hex? They would buy it on Ethereum. So I think over the long term, I think Hex on Ethereum is going to be a lot more popular. And similarly, like once PulseChain released, right, I think PHEX was doing a little bit better than PulseChain. But then during the end of or towards when the bull cycle starts, and I think most people that aren't familiar or just getting into the ecosystem would probably buy Pulse over PHEX. So I think there's going to be some interesting dynamics over like between EHEX, PHEX, and PLS over which one is like outperforming the other over different time scales. So for EHEX over a long time, it could actually be quite successful. Of course, you have to balance that against what you think the fees are going to be to end your stake and whether they're going to be solutions or not. And then in PulseChain towards the bull, I think there has been like PHEXs have been outperforming PLS a little bit, but I think as the bull takes off, for me, I'm thinking PLS that might invert. And I honestly think like the price action in the bull market will be more to do with the macro and BTC than it will to do with Richard Hart and the SEC case. So for PLS and PulseChain, I don't really think the SEC case will have a major effect on price action because most people just want green candles. Like they don't care that there's some pending case. They just want their green candles. So, I mean, although we've been talking a little bit bearish about the SEC case and price action over the long term, I think we're still going to have some good action in the bull market with PulseChain. I think it makes for me Hex feel like more of a longer term game, but I still think we'll get good bull action this cycle.
I don't know. I might be the only one who feels kind of bullish about it because I feel like what better person to fight these evil entities than Richard Hart?
Oh, he's going to fight, period.
Yeah.
I hope he does. Yeah.
No
I
matter
think in
what.
regards to like Ethereum versus PulseChain, when we're talking about Hex, I think that the PulseChain Hex is technically more volatile. The floor is kind of more volatile because there isn't really a solid native stablecoin on the PulseChain, but there is Ethereum, right? So Ethereum, there's Ethereum to USDC or DAI or whatever, and that kind of tempers it. But when the price of Pulse goes down, technically the price of PHEX goes down without anybody, to the dollar, without anybody necessarily selling it, right? But it could go the other way too, whereas Pulse pumps, PHEX is going to pump along with it, even without anybody getting into it, which they will. And so it's just more volatile. And that's what happened when it went down, that PHEX went down quite a bit. But if it pumps again, I think it'll just be more of a volatile. It could go way up with it, like the Pulse could springboard the Hex
faster.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if there was a jury, right, and there was hexagons in the jury? That would be so funny.
No, I don't know anything.
Imagine me.
Hex!
Do you
never
know? Do you know Hex? I have no idea.
No.
What do you believe in?
No.
I'll be the perfect one. I'll be jury president. Imagine. What? Guilty? Hell no. We're not leaving here until
We're not
everyone.
leaving.
I'll make sure they'll be like the longest trial ever. I'll convince everyone.
Right?
That
You'll
it's
be like,
not guilty.
it'll be like that 12 Angry Men. I don't know if you guys know about 12 Angry Men. It's this book and it was made into a play and a movie where this one person in the jury convinces the rest of the jury to turn their minds around. That would be Georgia in that jury.
Yep.
Convincing
watch
them
that
one
movie.
by one.
I'll
What's
be
it called
Please
you
get
know,
a
again?
summons,
I don't know,
please.
please, yes, let's get a
Please.
summons. Do you know? No, I'll be like asking for autographs. I'll be like, can
Selfies.
I have a picture with you?
And
Selfies.
they pull up your stream.
Stream like outside the
"Hey."
courtroom. Oh, it would be so funny. So I've been going for
It'd
an
be
hour
like
and 5
the
minutes.
Johnny Depp and the girl, the trial will be live
Yeah.
from YouTube.
Netflix. Yeah,
Yes,
Netflix the trial.
something
Yeah, they
like
should
that.
totally do that, the highest of stakes. So we'll just quickly go through PulseChain Tour and also the Aussie Tour. So PulseChain Tour, I should bring up there. SJ has got all the dates and I'm going to bring it up. Do you guys want to, I mean, they've been doing some incredible work, PulseChain Tour. Let's bring it up
They
to
do.
you.
They've been like struggling a little bit because they need more support from the community. And I know it's hard times, especially, for example, SJ has been sharing with us her experiences. And, she lives in the bus and she goes around. It's been harder than she thought it was going to be. So, hopefully I get SJ tomorrow at the Lighthouse. I do a streaming every Saturday at 2 p.m. called The Lighthouse, and I want to talk to her and I want to make sure that we give her the support that she deserves. A lot of the people
Yeah.
that it's
She's been
involved in the PulseChain Tour, but especially SJ.
She's
Yeah.
been working so hard. So we have on pulsechaintour.com all the events. So they have masterclasses, they have Fix the World, they have meetups, they have the cruise. SJ on her Twitter page has posted where she's going, and she does need safe places to stay. So please check that out. So the Aussie Hex meetup is October 13th, I believe, in Sydney. And it's exciting. So Peter Tom Gillespie has decided to bring his camera crew. Don't ask me why.
No, I am a huge fan of
Oh my
Peter
gosh. I don't know if
Tom
anyone needs
Peter
to see me
Gillespie.
party. Like in my own mind, I'm amazing, but to capture video of it, I'm not sure this is a great idea. But
Oh,
anyway, that's what's
man,
happening.
I'm missing it.
Great.
I wish he
It's
would
gonna
come
be
to
funny.
LA.
So we're going to do a meetup. I think that's on the Friday night, and then on the Saturday we're doing a 4-hour cruise, and then we've got a breakfast on the Sunday. So yeah, should be fun. Looking forward to it. I know DJ Creditus is going to be our DJ, and yeah, we've got our own little like cute tops and hats, and yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. All right, guys. So we might just go around the room. And if there's anything that you wanted to talk about and you didn't, please bring it up. Or if you want to direct people to your page or your stream, or Georgia, should we start with you? Oh, sorry, Raquel, you want to go first?
No, it's just about the PulseChain Tour. I'm going to be there in Miami, so it's going to be in Miami. Say hi.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be doing some videos from there as well, because I'm going to be getting the name the PulseChain out to the people in the beach over there. So
nice.
That's good.
Love it.
More bikinis, guys. We need more.
She's a Hex bikini, guys. Who does Hex bikinis?
Yes.
I need whatever bikinis. I'll take them. I'll wear.
That's amazing. Well, good luck. But
cool.
some sunblock, please. Sunblock.
No, I need it.
All right, Georgia, do you want to, is there anything you didn't get to say, or tell people about your stream? Where can they find you?
I do my stream. I started something called the Lighthouse, and I've been broadcasting on here in YouTube with Moms in Crypto, and also through the Twitter Spaces and Twitter video, simultaneously. So it is amazing. I got a machine and I was able to figure it out. The Lighthouse is a place for everyone. We need a place sometimes just to talk about anything. Imagine a place where friends gather from around the world, and it has no roadmap. It doesn't have any specific themes that we're going to talk about that day. I just, maybe by the time I talk a little bit before people show up, just to make sure everybody has a chance to come in. But it's positive. I am the lighthouse keeper, and I need everybody's light to make this place amazing. Last week, last weekend was incredible. We had everyone, even KDP showed up, which I was like thrilled. You know, I love the ladies of Hex. I love the ladies supporting the community. Everybody showed up, and it's a place that everybody respects everybody. That's all. I have the power of this little finger, and I use it. That's the only thing. The only thing that I ask is for people to be respectful, because we have a lot of fights around. If you want to fight, just, go somewhere else. But the lighthouse is for everyone. Bitcoiners, orange people, Hexicans, obviously. I'm there representing Hex. And it's a fun place for everyone. Every Saturday, 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And come over this Saturday. It's going to be fun.
Awesome. Thanks, Georgia. And we got your Twitter handle there at Carrera, Georgia. And your link to your YouTube channel will be on your Twitter
Mom's in
bio.
crypto. Mom's in crypto.
Yeah. Awesome. Thanks. Hot Pro.
I would say check out telegrams of different rooms of the projects you already like, because you might be surprised at the fact that some of the, a lot of the stuff that people have made, it hasn't been abandoned. People are still trying to make everything work out, and they're kind of excited about maybe a potential future sort of unification. More of a unification between Ethereum and PulseChain might make it a little bit easier to onboard and otherwise. So just, I don't know, if you really want to go and research some of the stuff that's already out there, just go on the telegrams and look for things on there. I've spent a lot of time there lately, but that's about it. April on Twitter, Hodpro on freaking A. Hodpro on Twitter and Hodpro on Telegram. That's where I'm at. So that's it. And keep your head up. This bear's gonna explode someday. So be patient.
Thanks, Hodpro. Okay, Raquel.
Hi, I'm happy to be on stream with you guys again. It's been a while. I'm happy to see you guys.
Yeah, thanks for coming on.
Now
Absolutely.
on Twitter. I'm going to be starting a channel hopefully pretty soon, getting things together to do that. Song coming out soon. I am at Raquel is now on Twitter and also in Telegram.
Nice. And what's your Twitter handle, Raquel?
At Raquel is now.
Nice. I want to thank the chat for being here and for turning up. The bear market has been, it's been pretty brutal, but we all know how to win. It is a long game. And it's not always easy to hang around when the markets are like this. It does play with your emotions a little bit. So I would encourage everybody to obviously really be mindful of that. Increase your exercise, increase your outdoor time, like do whatever funny diet you want to do to make your headspace good. Because I really do believe that paying close attention to the community is necessary. I would hate for anyone that's been around for the last 2 years to get fatigued and leave. And the reason is that some new person will see green candles and they'll get lucky, and they'll dump a whole lot of money at the bottom and they'll get lucky and they'll ride it to the top. And there will be lucky people that do that. Whereas a lot of you guys have been around for 2 years, might be getting a bit fatigued. If you stop paying attention, then some new person is going to come in and they're just going to take it without doing any of that work. So don't be that person that walks away for 3 to 6 months, because in that 3 to 6 months, things can change dramatically. All of my bearish predictions, there's like a caveat to them. And if I see the green candles break through particular lines that I have in my head, then all of that crap I just said, I'm going to throw in the bin, and I'll be happy to do so, because people chase green candles and we don't know when they're going to come, but they're going to come. We don't know if it will be predictable or unpredictable when they do come. So if you walk away for 3 to 6 months and some new person comes in and does really well on PulseChain, that would be it would be bad for the community. So I encourage the community, instead of walking away, to get mentally tougher. Do what you need to do. Exercise every single day if you have to. Change your diet, change your routines. Do what you have to do to stick around, because I don't want some new person getting all the glory when we've all been around for years waiting for it. So that's all I have to say. Thanks, everyone. I hope you have a really good day. And thanks for being here. Bye.